Stolen return.
Oh, your black Les Paul. Let's hear how you purchased the Les Paul.
Well, I'll try to keep this short.
No, add all the detail you want. That's a good story.
Okay. Well, starting off, I was starting to play with some guys that were older. And even when I was 15, I played some dudes that were like in their early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I had borrowed a guitar from this guy named Mike over here from Columbia City. He had a Guild. It's kind of like a copy of an SG 100 or 200. I can't remember, but it was like a great sounding guitar. Had two humbuckers, and I loved that guitar. I was playing it, and I couldn't believe this guy just let me borrow it. And turns out, I got something stuck in my tooth. Turns out I ended up. He needed it back after 6 months. Like, I was just glad he let me borrow it that long. But so I said, okay, yeah, I gave it back. And then trying to play the other guitar just was not cutting it at all. I couldn't really deal with it. And I had been riding my bicycle to a factory every day after school, and just to work like an hour and 45 minutes riding home. I saved all my money.
And your bike was bike was a crappy one-speed.
Yeah.
And how far did you go?
About 2 miles. Dad put the bike we put it in the trunk, drove to high school with it, and then when I could get out of school, I went to the trunk, got the bike out, rode the bike 2 miles to this factory called Real Craft, worked my hour and 45 minutes, something like that, and rode the bike home. I did that for a long time. I saved my money. I needed another guitar.
3 cents an hour? What?
Yeah, $1.75 an hour. It's almost 3 cents an hour.
3 cents a minute, right?
Well,
okay.
3 cents a minute, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, one time one of the other employees there, he's an older guy, probably like 25, and he kept talking to me after I checked in. I said, man, I got to get to work. After all, I'm making almost 3 cents a minute. And that got a rise out of him. Of course, every time he saw me, he said, man, you better step it up, John. He goes, yeah, after all, you're making almost 3 cents a minute. So, anyway, saved my money. And what happened was, I didn't mention this earlier, but some inspector dude came in. And they said, how old is he? I said, 15. So he can't work here. And he says, no, he's not working on the machines. He's just cleaning up the metal shavings around the lathes and around the metal machines. He said, no, he can't do that either. So they had to let me go.
Huh.
Well, I went with some friends to Fort Wayne from Columbia City, 20 miles. And went to this shop. I had used guitars. Sometimes they were pretty good. It was called Music Manor. I was playing some guitars there, and I had $350. That's all I had. I had it with me. And so, what I really wanted, I was really hooked on the idea of getting a Les Paul. I thought, well, maybe I'll have to get something cheaper, something I don't like as well, and just deal with it, But I was trying these guitars out, and I was like, kind of not really all that happy with them. And this guy comes in, dark-haired dude, looked like he was maybe mid-20s, seemed really cool. He goes, hey, you know what you need? You need that guitar right there. He pointed up, hanging way up on the wall, and it was like a black Gibson Les Paul Custom. And it was a used guitar. And I told him, says, I don't have that much money. It's $450. I've only got $350, and I don't have a job anymore. I can't do it. And he says, offer them $350. They'll take it. So next thing I know, there's this guy, Pat, who everybody knew. His name was Pat, and he worked at Music Man. He was a long, blonde-haired, straight-haired dude. Looked kind of like a hippie type, we thought he was cool. And I said, hey, I want to play that guitar. And I was playing it. And I don't know, I just told him, I don't know if he asked me or what, but I said, would you take $350? That's all the money I have. He kind of looked like, like he just kind of like thought maybe that was kind of a, to ask something like that was a bit much. He walked in the back. There's this old guy who owned the store, old dude, kind of shorter, little pot-bellied, kind of white-haired guy. He was fine. Everybody liked him enough, and so he kind of looked at the guitar and he goes, "Okay, we'll take $350." I'd played it and I loved the guitar. It just suddenly, a guitar that just felt completely right in my hand. It sounded good and everything. What I thought was just a plain old used Les Paul was a 1968 Gibson Les Paul Custom, which is quite the guitar. And I paid him, I got the guitar, and I went looking for the guy who just appeared out of nowhere that pointed out the guitar that I didn't even think of before, or I maybe looked at it, just thought I can't remember which. It's been a long time ago. I mean, we're talking about 15 years old to 66 years, that's 51 years. So anyway, I looked around for the guy, and he was just like gone, just as fast as he appeared. So I paid the money, and I walked out with the guitar, and I was all happy. And then I had it open, the case opened up, and kind of leaning against the chair, because the little strap thing had kind of torn loose. It's just like a old school Gibson hard shell case. And I showed my dad, and I'm all happy, and he says, "You spent $350 on a used guitar?" I said, "Yeah, but it's a really good one, Dad." Well, let's fast forward to maybe 10 years ago. 41 years later, 40 years later. He came out to California to visit. I set the guitar down in my room, opened up the case, which still the strap thing that pulled the case part way open would go like that, so I still like that. So I put it on the chair to lean up against there. I said, "Dad, you remember this guitar I bought for $350? He goes, "Yeah." I go, "It's worth $9,000. And that's the ultimate I told you so."
Oh man, that's a great. Well, now you told me that you thought that guy who pointed out the guitar was some kind of angel or something, right?
Looking back on it later, just the fact that I don't even know how he got it. It just felt like he magically appeared out of nowhere. And I was all happy that I got the guitar. I went to look around, and he was gone. It's possible. I don't know. I mean, I
just thought that was interesting because yeah, I mean, the guy just totally pointed you to the best thing ever, and then he disappeared.
Yeah, it is possible. I hate to over spiritualize things and claim things that I don't know, but
yeah.
If there's one time in my life that there was an angel, that definitely would have been one of them.
Okay, we're gonna go to when it got stolen. So you want to go
to a separate take on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do separate take.
Okay.